Tonight, when you get bored, you will probably reach for your phone. One thumb movement, a video starts, a game opens, a message appears. Your brain gets rescued in less than 3 seconds. Now take that away. No phone, no internet, no school, no job, no weekend, no clock on the wall telling you what to do next. Just you, a fire, a dark sky, and the same 30 humans you have seen every day of your life. For over 300,000 years, this was normal. So here's the strange question. What did ancient humans do when they were bored? Did they just stare at rocks for 6 hours? Or is boredom something we completely misunderstand? At first, ancient life sounds painfully boring. If you lived 40,000 years ago, your entertainment options were basically fire, dirt, animals, weather, and other humans. That sounds like a nightmare. But here is the contradiction. Ancient humans may not have been bored the way we are, not because their lives were easier, but because boredom needs something very specific to exist. It needs safety, it needs time, and it needs a brain that expects stimulation but is not getting any. Ancient humans did have quiet moments, but quiet did not always mean empty. A silent forest was not background noise, it was information. A sudden bird call could mean danger. A shift in the wind could mean rain. The world was not a blank wall. It was a giant living screen, and every ancient human was forced to watch it carefully. Still, imagine the moment. The day's work is done. Food has been gathered. Tools have been checked. The dark is pressing in, and now there are hours left. Just the group, the fire, the stars, and your own restless mind. This is where we imagine ancient humans as miserable. But archaeology paints a different picture. Across Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia, archaeologists keep discovering objects that nobody needed simply to survive. Shell beads, some of the oldest known shell beads, are more than 100,000 years old. Someone spent hours drilling tiny holes into shells, not because it helped them hunt, but because beauty already mattered. Then there is Blombos Cave in South Africa. Archaeologists discovered pieces of ochre engraved with repeating geometric patterns dating back roughly 75,000 years. They are among the earliest known examples of abstract design. That means ancient humans weren't thinking only about survival. They were creating, which means those quiet hours weren't empty after all. Ancient boredom did not create emptiness, it created culture. Ancient humans talked a lot. During the day, talking had a job. Where's the food? Which plants are safe? Who is going hunting? Daytime talk was survival talk. But at night, around the fire, the talk changed. The body was tired. The danger was outside the light. The group was close together. And the mind finally had space to wander. That is when stories came out. Stories about animals, stories about spirits, stories about the one human who did something stupid and somehow survived. Everyone laughed, and suddenly boredom became theater. The fire was the screen, the storyteller was in the movie, and memory was the only recording device. But stories were not just entertainment. A scary story could keep everyone away from danger. A funny story could hold the group together. But talking was only part of it. Ancient humans also made things. When the hunt was over, the hands did not simply stop. A bored human might sharpen a stone blade, twist plant fibers into cord, repair a basket, shape a wooden spear, paint marks onto stone. Researchers such as Metin Aaron and John Shea have shown that even tiny improvements to stone tools could save time, effort, and precious calories. A better knot could save a shelter. A sharper edge could cut meat faster. A smoother spear could fly straighter. A repaired basket could carry food tomorrow. In the modern world, boredom often means consuming something. In the ancient world, boredom often meant making something. That is a huge difference. Their free time did not just pass, it accumulated. 100 bored hands became clothing, weapons, ornaments, and art. Boredom was not wasted time. Boredom was where invention quietly waited. So, what did boredom actually look like? Sometimes it looked like children playing, chasing each other around camp, throwing stones at marks, pretending sticks were spears, copying hunters. But play was not just play, it was training wearing a funny mask. Anthropologists have long observed that hunter-gatherer children learn many adult skills through play instead of formal teaching. A child throwing stones was learning to aim. A child tracking footprints was learning to read the ground. Sometimes boredom looked like music. In Hohlfels Cave in Germany, archaeologist Nicholas Connard discovered a flute carved from a griffon vulture's wing bone. At around 40,000 years old, it is one of the oldest known musical instruments ever found. Sometimes boredom looked like art. In Chauvet Cave in France, artists painted lions, rhinos, and mammoths over 30,000 years ago. They carried burning torches deep into complete darkness just to create those images. And sometimes boredom looked like gossip. In a small group, gossip was not meaningless drama. It was survival information. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar argues that gossip helped humans build trust and cooperation in small groups. But here is the twist. Ancient humans probably did not have endless free time. Life was hard. Food could disappear. The weather could turn, children needed care, predators were real, hunger was real, cold was real. Some days were all work and fear. But that may be exactly why boredom mattered, because when a quiet moment finally appeared, the brain used it. Psychologist Sandy Mann, who studies boredom and creativity, argues that boredom pushes the brain to search for something more meaningful. Modern boredom is different. Today, boredom often comes from too many choices. You have 1,000 things to watch, but none of them feel satisfying. Ancient humans had fewer choices, but those choices were connected to life. Make something, learn something, talk to someone. When we ask, what did ancient humans do when they were bored? We are really asking something deeper. What did the mind do before machines entertained it? The answer is uncomfortable. It made culture. It made tools. It made jokes. It made songs. It made friendships. Today, the moment boredom appears, we try to kill it. A quiet elevator, a slow bus ride, a meal alone, a few seconds in line. Out comes the phone. The empty space disappears, but maybe something else disappears with it. Because boredom is not always the enemy. Sometimes boredom is the doorway. It is the uncomfortable little gap before imagination starts working.